Caitlyn Clark just got called the absolute truth by Shaquille O'Neal right on Angel Reese's own podcast. And the people who are still trying to label her as just another overhyped media creation are completely missing the entire point of what is happening in basketball right now. Everyone seems to be calling Caitlyn Clark lucky or claiming she is just a product of a perfectly timed marketing machine. But today, we are going to look at what the actual numbers are telling us. And I am telling you right now, it is not what you think. Caitlyn Clark just got bodied on national television while the rest of the world watched, and instead of standing up to defend her, her own league went completely silent. Nobody is talking about the real reason why this is happening, and that is exactly what we are going to uncover today. If you stay until the very end of this video, you are going to find out why the mainstream media narrative around Caitlyn Clark is built on a massive half-truth. The one specific statistic that completely changes how you see every single controversy she has been involved in, and the real reason why what is happening to Clark right now matters for the future of women's sports. And trust me, this is way bigger than just basketball. Quick note before we really dive into the deep end here. Everything you are about to hear is based on publicly available information, verified reports, and our own intensive film and data analysis. This channel is not affiliated with Caitlyn Clark, the Indiana Fever, or the WNBA. We are not here to take sides or play favorites. We are just here to break down what the data and the history actually say. All opinions expressed are for entertainment and informational purposes, and we have nothing but respect for all the incredible players in this conversation. There are athletes, and then there are game changers, the ones who force you to pause, to rethink, and to watch in total disbelief. Right now in women's basketball, one single name eclipses them all: Caitlyn Clark. From sold-out arenas to social media firestorms, from highlight reels to NBA legends picking up their phones just to say she is different, this is history in motion. She is not just scoring points, she is rewriting the rules and breaking records. The question isn't if she is good, it is how far can she push the game before it bends to her will. Because at the end of the day, Caitlyn Clark is absurdly good at basketball. And not just good for a rookie, but good for any era. She is doing things on a court that make people stop mid-scroll and rewatch the clip 3 times because they cannot believe the range, the vision, and the sheer audacity. Start with the shooting because that is the most visible part of her wizardry. This girl pulls up from 28 feet like she is standing at the free throw line. We are talking about logo threes, deep step backs, and off-the-dribble pull-ups with defenders draped all over her. During her rookie WNBA season, she drained 122 three-pointers, more than any rookie in league history, and the second most anyone has ever hit in a single WNBA season period. She finished just 6 threes behind Sabrina Ionescu's all-time record, and she did it as a rookie. Fans are literally saying it gives them chills just watching her shoot. There was a game against the Washington Mystics where she lit up Capital One Arena for 7 three-pointers and 30 points. 7 threes, she tied the WNBA rookie record for threes in a single game. And she did it in front of over 20,000 fans who packed a venue that hadn't seen a crowd like that for women's basketball in almost 2 decades. Her average shot distance that night was 24 feet, the longest by any player in the entire WNBA that season. But here is what separates Clark from just being a great shooter: she might be an even better passer. She set the WNBA single-season assist record with 337 assists. Not the rookie record, the all-time record. She averaged 8.4 assists per game, the highest in the league, and the 5th highest single-season average in WNBA history. She broke the single-game assist record with 19 assists against the Dallas Wings, a number so ridiculous that veteran point guards spend entire careers never touching it. She scored or assisted on 66 points that night, shattering Diana Taurasi's record for points produced in a game. 19 assists in one game, that is 19 perfect decisions. That is 19 moments where she saw a window that nobody else in the arena saw and delivered the ball right through it. Fans describe her peripheral vision as out of this world. She also became the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double, and she did it twice. The first came against the New York Liberty with 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. No rookie had ever put up those numbers in a single game in the entire history of the league. Her basketball IQ is what ties everything together. If you watch her film, you will see the subtle stuff, the way she uses ball fakes to freeze help defenders for an extra half second before threading a skip pass. The way she reads the double team a step early and finds the shooter before the trap closes. The way she changes speed through the pick and roll to manipulate the defense into making the wrong choice. Fans and the basketball community saw it, and eventually, the legends of the game had to say it out loud. Now picture the scene that changed everything. Shaquille O'Neal is sitting on Angel Reese's Unapologetically Angel podcast. This is her show, her platform, and she and Shaq go way back. He is a fellow LSU alum, a mentor, and someone who championed her career. If anyone was going to be in Reese's corner, it was Shaq. And then Shaq asked the question that changed the whole energy of the room. Why do you think people love Caitlyn Clark? You could feel the shift as Reese tried to keep it simple, saying it was just about the logo threes and the deep shooting. But Shaq wasn't having it. He leaned in and started building a case that went way beyond shooting. He compared Clark to Steph Curry not as a throwaway line, but as a genuine basketball comparison. He talked about how Curry doesn't have the muscles of a LeBron James, but he does things on the court that nobody has ever done before. And then Shaq pivoted to Clark and said, the same exact thing applies. She is doing stuff we have never seen before on a consistent basis. And then came the money line, the one that bounced around every basketball corner of the internet for days. Shaq admitted he used to be a hater. He said because of his loyalty to LSU and his connection to Reese, he would watch Clark play and think she wouldn't make the shot, but she did again and again and again. He said, "If I say 10 times you are not going to hit that shot, and you hit the shot, that means you are the truth." That isn't a media talking head trying to generate clicks. That is a 4-time NBA champion and 3-time Finals MVP, looking at a 22-year-old woman and saying she is the real deal. Fans flooded the comments saying Shaq just gave Caitlyn Clark her flowers on Angel Reese's own podcast. Others joked that it felt like the Caitlyn Clark show hosted by Angel Reese. But underneath the jokes, there was a real shift happening. When someone with Shaq's credibility publicly declares a player is the truth, that is history recognizing itself. Yet the work behind the records is the part that doesn't always trend on social media. Talent gets you in the door, but work keeps you in the building. The truth is, the WNBA didn't roll out a welcome mat for her. They tried to break her. She started her rookie season playing 11 games in 20 days. She was dealing with the fastest, most physical competition she had ever faced while navigating a media circus unlike anything in women's basketball history. Her team started 1-8. She turned the ball over 10 times in her very first game. She had a game where she scored only 3 points, and skeptics called it proof that the hype was overblown. But while the skeptics stopped watching, Clark kept working. She spent the season adjusting her game in real time. When the Olympic break came, a break that stung because she was controversially left off the Team USA roster, she didn't mope. She used the time to reset and come back sharper. In her first 10 games after the break, she averaged 24.7 points and 9.3 assists. The Fever went 8-2. That stretch included their first 5-game winning streak since 2015. She was a completely different player, more patient, more decisive, and more lethal. For the full season after the break, she averaged 23.1 points per game. If you projected that across a full season, it would have been second in the entire league behind only Aja Wilson. She didn't just find her footing, she went supernova. Watch the film from August and September compared to May. By the end of the season, she was dictating to the defense. She orchestrated the offense, made her teammates play with more confidence, and led her team to the playoffs after they had only won 13 games the year before. She won Rookie of the Year with 66 out of 67 votes and made the All-WNBA first team. Let's talk about the money, because the numbers off the court are just as staggering. Caitlyn Clark signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike, the richest sponsorship contract in the history of women's basketball. She has endorsements with Wilson, State Farm Gatorade, and a growing list of brands. Time magazine named her Athlete of the Year, and the Associated Press named her Female Athlete of the Year. But the real story is what she has done for the entire league. An economist determined that Caitlyn Clark was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in her rookie season. More than a quarter of the league's total revenue ticket sales, merchandise, television deals was attributable to one player. Her potential economic impact has been estimated at figures approaching $1 billion. Fever home attendance went from averaging around 4,000 fans per game in 2023 to over 17,000 in 2024, an all-time WNBA record. They drew more fans per home game than the Indiana Pacers, the NBA team they share an arena with. WNBA attendance across the entire league when Clark was playing was 105% higher than games she wasn't in. On the road, opponent home attendance jumped 87% when the Fever came to town. 4 different teams had to move their home games to larger NBA arenas because they couldn't handle the ticket demand. The Las Vegas Aces moved a regular season game to T-Mobile Arena and sold more tickets for that single game than they had for games 1 and 2 of the previous WNBA Finals combined. 6 different television networks recorded their most-watched WNBA game ever during her rookie season. WNBA games averaged 1.32 million viewers, nearly tripling the previous season's average. The 2024 WNBA draft drew 2.45 million viewers, a record. Merchandise sales across the league increased by 500%, and of the 24 WNBA broadcasts that drew at least 1 million television viewers in 2024, 21 of them involved Caitlyn Clark. This is the Caitlyn Clark effect. She didn't just raise the profile of the Fever, she lifted every single team's bottom line. She made women's basketball must-see television for millions who had never watched a WNBA game before. Her own agent told ESPN that it would be impossible to pay Clark what she's actually worth to the league. She earned $76,535 as a rookie, but her value to the ecosystem was hundreds of millions. But with this explosion of popularity came a massive amount of drama and physical play that has the fan base divided. Some fans argue that she is being assaulted multiple times per game while the officials do nothing. There are claims that the league and its veteran players are jealous of her success. One fan noted that the blatant disregard for fouls against her is dangerous. There is a narrative that the WNBA didn't care about keeping her safe. Stephen A. Smith argued that the league has a responsibility to ensure its biggest star can play without being physically targeted every night. Some fans go as far as to say criminal charges should be addressed because of the lack of safety. There are also deep-seated conversations about race and bias, with some fans claiming the hate she receives is rooted in racism. Then, there is the friction with other players, most notably Angel Reese. Some fans find Reese's attitude to be egotistical and immature. One person commented that Reese acts like a child, while Clark is pure class. There are allegations of fake nails being used to injure Clark's eyes. Some believe that instead of being jealous, the other players should be thanking her for the profits and the salary increases she is bringing to everyone. One observer pointed out that Tiger Woods did for golf what Clark is doing for women's sports, bringing legitimacy and making everyone rich. There is also the controversy surrounding her exclusion from the Olympic team. Some fans believe keeping Diana the dinosaur instead of Clark was pure jealousy. They argue that she was robbed of a spot on the Olympics and even robbed of the MVP award in 2024. Yet despite all this, Clark has remained professional and classy. Fans describe her as a role model for young females who demonstrates incredible mental strength when faced with game difficulties and a publicity crush. Beyond the basketball, Caitlyn Clark's story teaches us something we can all use. When an entire system seems designed to slow you down and the crowd still shows up for you anyway, that is not luck. That is proof that doing the work in silence eventually speaks louder than any controversy. Clark didn't silence her critics by arguing. She silenced them by playing. She walked into a league that wasn't ready for her carried expectations. No rookie should have to carry, and still showed up every single night. That is not just a sports story, it is a blueprint for excellence under pressure. In a world that wanted her to be perfect from day one, her real superpower was her willingness to keep going anyway. Clark finished fourth in MVP voting as a rookie. She became the first WNBA or NBA rookie since Michael Jordan to average 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 2 steals, and a block in a playoff series. Michael Jordan, the only comparable name for a 22-year-old in her first pro season. And the scariest part for the rest of the league is that the learning curve is flattening, and she is just getting started. What happens in year 2, year 3, or year 5? She has rewritten the rules, shattered expectations, and left every arena and analyst questioning what comes next. Records are falling, and the league is chasing shadows she has already left behind. To make this story even deeper, we have to look at the atmosphere that surrounded her every move. This wasn't just a regular season, it was a cultural phenomenon. When Clark took the floor, the air in the arena changed. You could see it in the faces of the young girls wearing her number 22 jersey, eyes wide with the realization that they could be that great too. These kids aren't just watching a player, they are watching a path being carved through a forest that used to be too thick to walk through. And think about the legends who are now paying attention. It isn't just Shaq. It is Stephen Curry who has gone on record praising her insane range and how she forces defenses to guard her before she even crosses half court. It is the old school players who used to ignore the WNBA but are now glued to the screen every time she plays. They are seeing the fundamentals, the precision, and the competitive fire that define the greatest to ever play the game. But the road to greatness is never paved with just praise. It is paved with grit. When Clark was turning the ball over in May, the noise was deafening. People were ready to bury her career before it had even begun. They said she was too small, too weak, and that her college game wouldn't translate. But she didn't bark back at the media. She didn't post cryptic messages on social media. She got in the gym. She watched the film. She learned how to manipulate the double teams that were designed to swallow her whole. By the time the playoffs rolled around, she was a different beast. She was a veteran in a rookie's body. She was making reads that point guards with 10 years of experience struggle to make. That is why the Michael Jordan comparison matters so much. It isn't just about the stats, it is about the impact. It is about how the entire ecosystem has to reorganize itself just to accommodate your presence. And as we look forward, the horizon is wide open. The Indiana Fever are no longer a struggling franchise. They are the center of the basketball universe. The WNBA is no longer a league struggling for a foothold. It is a league that has finally found its stride, led by a 22-year-old with a ponytail and a jump shot that doesn't miss. Now, I want to hear from you. If Caitlyn Clark has ever given you a moment that made you jump off your couch in disbelief, do me a favor and drop a basketball emoji in the comments right now. Let's show her how many people are actually riding with her. And tell me, do you think Caitlyn Clark gets treated fairly by the league, by the media, and by her peers? Drop your honest take below. We read every single one and we don't delete opinions here. Every comment helps this story reach more sports fans who deserve the full picture, not just the sensationalized headlines. If you think the truth matters, make some noise in the comments right now. Now you know the full story of what is really happening around Caitlyn Clark. But there is one player whose journey makes this controversy look like just the warm-up. I already made a video about it, and trust me, you do not want to miss the deep dive into what is really happening with Angel Reese behind the scenes. That video is right there on your screen. Just click it to see the other side of this generational rivalry. One thing is certain, this isn't the end. It is just the opening act. The world is only beginning to understand what Caitlyn Clark is capable of. See you in the next one.